The audio was messed up so bad the first time I recorded this little intro part, so I'm doing it again. This is not my room. I'm sure many of you might recognize that. I'm not home right now. I'm at my grandmother's house because I'm supposed to be taking care of her. She just got out of the hospital. So sorry for hitting you with a brick. My bad. I'm blonde now, by the way. You probably noticed that too. It's not the lighting, I swear. I'm blonde now. Yeah, I went blonde. Anyways, the point of this video is not to talk about all of that. What I want to talk about is my experience with getting my first job. Yay! So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I applied to be an alteration specialist at a bridal shop. Basically, I'd be like fixing and sewing wedding gowns. I wouldn't be making them or anything. It's just like bride comes in, they're like, I want this, 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 and then it gets sent to me, and I'm like, okay, I can do it. Yeah, basically that's what it is. So I applied like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago I actually got an interview. So I go in, this is my first interview ever. My dad is talking me through everything in the car, and he's like, like going through like, okay, here's some questions they may ask, and you be prepared for everything. Remember to ask your own questions. And so I'm like, okay. So I go in on time, a little bit early, just a little few minutes early. But I go in and I am greeted by one of the workers in there, and she is like, hi, what can I help you with? And I tell her, hi, my name's Ember. I'm here, for my job interview. And she's like, oh, you're Ember? And she's like, yeah. And so she goes back and she's like, let me get my manager. And she doesn't come back, but her manager comes back, and she is like kind of like creeping around the store. I don't really know what she was doing, but she eventually makes her way over to me and she introduces herself. She's like, hi, I'm V. That's what we're calling her for now. She's like, hi, I'm V. Very nice to meet you. You are Ember, right? I'm like, yes, I am Ember. Nice to meet you. So we talk for like right there for a second, and she's like, okay, come back with me. We sit down. Well, she sits down. I don't know what she's doing. She was kind of complaining, not gonna lie. She was like, I'm on my feet all day, blah, 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 all that. And she talks about not much really. She asked me if I've had like previous experience with sewing. I'm like, yeah. I don't think I would have applied for this job if I didn't. I told her, yeah, I have altered a lot of things before, I've done a lot of my own personal projects and stuff. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's a great start. And she told me that A, the person I'm supposed to be meeting with, she says that A is not here today, which we need you to do a sewing test to see if like where we need to put you and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. But she shows me back to the alterations room. I meet Elle, another employee that I'd be like coworkers with and everything. And so I meet Elle, I've met V, but I still haven't met A. So I leave, and we scheduled another time for my sewing test the week after, so I'd go back in on Memorial Day and take my sewing test. So I go back in on Memorial Day, and I walk in all nervous again, just upset that I had to pick a different outfit to wear this day, and I didn't even like my outfit. But anyways, I went in, and I waited, and I waited, no one was showing up. And so I'm standing there feeling like a weirdo, just trying to pretend like I'm at least looking around or something. Like I didn't know I was like kind of nervous. But eventually someone comes up and they're like, hi, what can I help you with? And I'm like, I'm here to take my sewing test. And she is like, oh, okay, let me go talk to someone in the back. I don't know who she went to go talk to. But she goes back, and I wait, and I wait. And these two people come in behind me, and they start standing behind me. I think they thought this was like a line or something, but I didn't know really how to tell them, so I was just kind of standing there, and they were kind of standing behind me, like breathing down my neck. It was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but the girl comes back. The girl that I spoke to when I got there, she comes back and she's like, I'm so sorry, but A is not here today, so you can't take your sewing test. And so I get a little upset. I'm like, do you know when I can come back? And she's like, we'll give you a call, I think. And I'm like, okay. So I go back. Luckily, I told my mom to wait 10 minutes before leaving. With my interview, my first interview, I was only in the shop for 10 minutes. So I didn't want her to just like leave and then I'd have to like walk out of the store, like walk of shame, and then like, where's my mom? So I told her to wait, and luckily she did. And I come out and I get into the car and she's like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm about to like start crying, and I'm like, she wasn't here again. And my mom gets really mad. She was like, I should go in there and yell at them. I'm like, please don't. So she doesn't. We go down to the mall for a little bit. We don't buy anything for us, but, you know, it kind of like helped me like, chill out a little bit. So after we did that, we go home, and then on the 31st, I take my driver's like road test and I pass it, so now I can drive. That's great news. I know we've like jumped like a while now, but now I can drive. While we are driving back, I'm not driving because I'm all like tuckered out, you know. I asked her, please drive us home. I know I can drive on now, like, and you don't even have to worry about it, but just please, 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 please drive. I'm nervous. I don't want to do it anymore. So she's like, okay. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm just talking with her, you know, and my phone rings. I'm like, oh, because I think it's Archie. I'm sure you're all familiar with Archie. I think Archie's calling me. So I was like, okay, is it Archie? It's not Archie. I saved that bridal shop's company down. Like, I saved the name and everything. And that name showed up on the call thing. I'm like, oh my god, Mom, they're calling me right now. And she's like, no way, they're not. Because she's still mad at them. I'm still mad. I said I wasn't gonna go back. I'm gonna be honest. Like, they didn't have their shit together twice. I didn't think I was gonna go back. But I did. I went. But anyways, I answered the call. And I'm like, hello? And I was like, be nice. I'm like, they're like, hi, is this Ember? I'm like, yeah, this is Ember. She's like, hi, this is Jay. I'm from this bridal shop. We're so sorry to tell you that A had fallen and broken her arm, and could not complete your sewing test with you, but we would still love for you to come back. And I was like, okay, when can I come back? And she was like, okay, well, A is actually here right now, so I can hand you over to her. And I'm like, okay. So she hands me over to A, and I talked to A for a little bit, and we scheduled for the day after. Back in to take my sewing test. And I tell my mother, Mom, this is the third time I'm going. If nothing happens today, we're never coming back here. And she's like, yeah, for sure. So I go in, and there's immediately someone there for me. And I'm like, hi, I'm Ember. I'm here to take my sewing test for the second time. And the girl says, oh, let me go get A. So A is there. A is there. That's great. So we go and we get A. A introduces herself to me, and she takes me back. Like, we're getting into this immediately, no questions. We're just going. She takes me back into the alterations room. She gives me two dresses to pick from. One was a blue dress with like lace on it, and then the other one was just a green dress with like no decoration or anything really. I picked the blue dress. It just seems like easier to do, I think. And so I picked up the blue dress, and she's like, can you do a roll time on this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I am I'm not even nervous anymore. I just kind of feel weird, you know, because I've come back here. I've gotten my nerves over like twice already. So I'm sitting in the sewing chair, you know, after being taught how to use these big industrial machines because I've never used them before. But I actually like them a lot better. They're so quiet. My like home sewing machine is so loud. Those singers are so loud for no reason. I've never like heard such a quiet sewing machine, but it's so peaceful back there. Anyways, I do the rolled hem. I'm doing great because I already know how to do it. I've practiced this. I practiced before my first schedule for the sewing test, so like I already knew how to do it. And so I'm doing it, you know. She comes to check on me after I'm trying to like cut all like the extra fabric off. I'm like, these scissors are giving me a lot of trouble, and she's like, I promise you do not have to use the crappy ones here. It's a new pair. I'm like, yay, thank you. So I am doing it. She's gone. She's not even like staying in the room, like hovering over me or anything. But I'm doing it, and I realize that I mess up. And I'm like, oh no, I messed up the hem a little bit. I rolled it too far over, so like the hem. It wasn't like a hem anymore. It was like more like this. In a way, it looked like that. And I was like, I messed up. I did something wrong here. And so A comes back in the room and she's like, how are we doing? And I show her my work and I also tell her about the mistake that I made. And she tells me that it looks so good. And she needs me on this team. I'm like, okay, purr. I know I messed up, but like, okay. She's like, let me look at the computer and like see when I can get you in and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting here still trying to fix my mistake and everything. She comes back in and, she starts talking about like when I can start and how much it pays, and she shows me around the shop and everything, and that was the deal. I have the job. I have a job now, and I sew things. Like, I'm so excited. My first day is on Friday this week. I don't know when I'll be posting this, but I did want to share the story a little bit, just in case anyone else is like going through anything similarly, like getting kind of frustrated with it, because I don't know, I get agitated a bit easily, I don't know, but I'm really excited. I don't even have to talk to people. I just sit in the back room and work on clothes. You know how nice it's gonna be to not even have to talk to people? I wouldn't mind it, but I just don't want to do all like the pinning and stuff because I don't want to deal with bridezillas. Because can you imagine? Like, I am picky when it comes to like my dresses and stuff. I cannot imagine being the person that had to pin up my dress, because I have had like work done before, like on my own dress and stuff. Not a wedding dress, my prom dress, but yeah, that's the story I wanted to share. If you want me to share my driver's test story, I can do that too. There's not as much to it, I don't think. This one was very long and complicated, but the driver's test was okay. I am going on my vacation, holy shit, next week. I'm going on my vacation next week. So, I'm gonna go see Melanie Martinez. I have trilogy tour tickets for my birthday. I cannot wait to post about that. Oh my god. And I'm going to the beach. So excited to share all that with you. Thank you for sticking with me. I love you guys. Bye.